Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of ESPOOKYS Talk. My name is Arturo, and I'm here, as always, with the bruja of all brujas, Eva.
And like I've always told you, good things and bad things always come in 3.
Bam, bam, and bam.
So I want to tell all you guys the truth about our podcast here. Doesn't always go as planned. And today, we're definitely living that. I had to do a whole tarot reading because the vibes were off.
Yeah, but tell us how those cards came out.
So, interestingly, both of them just came out as I was shuffling them. Just popped out, almost poked me in the eye. And they're in reverse. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. And as I looked through them, just reminded me to keep going.
Yes.
Like, the reason we started doing this podcast was to investigate the ESPOOKYS.
Everything is spookies. You know, and it's true because there's so many different things out there that are just spookies. It's different. It's crazy. It's creative. It's confusing. It's everything. And I've just wanted to explore it. And when I met Eva and we had these conversations and I was like, you know, I kind of want to start a podcast. Boom. It was connection. It was connection because she's already connected to all the things I want to learn about. And that's why we're here.
But I've also felt very isolated. And so thank you for creating a space where I get to share all my stories and be myself.
Absolutely.
And not seen as, you know, the loony person in town.
I don't know if you've actually shed the full looniness, but let me tell you, you are really resonating and making connection with several people because we've been receiving, hey guys, we only have 2 episodes out there. This is numero tres. And we've already received a ton of emails, some requests. I even received an email from somebody who was telling me a story that was just so crazy, guys. It was nuts. Just nuts. And we're going to be talking to him. We're actually going to go out. I'm going to interview him and hear his story about his family and things like that. So it's going to be pretty cool.
I think that's going to be wonderful. But in order for you guys to truly understand his story and have the background knowledge, I kind of want to talk about spells, hexes, and curses.
Nice.
How they're similar and different, how it takes intent and manifestation. And I think the best way to put it is starting with a spell. Everybody knows what a spell is. Technically, our prayers, especially for the Roman Catholics out there, that would be considered a spell. You're chanting something with the intent of an outcome. As a Latina, I know that when I would injure myself and have a boo-boo and cry and be dramatic, because that's just how I am, my mom would say, sana sana, colita de rana, si no sana hoy, sanará mañana.
My mom said that too.
Right? Like, and it's such a simple thing, but let me tell you what it translates to.
Please do, because I've never really understood it, and I've always wanted to.
So it means heal, heal, frog tail. If it doesn't heal today, it'll heal tomorrow.
Get out.
Yeah, like frog tail. Like, why a frog tail?
Why a frog tail?
So here we are. We're going to ponder upon it. So, of course, I investigated, and it's because it's not Mexican at all.
Oh.
We totally took this from the Irish.
Well, you know, people have been taking from us. We have to take from somebody.
So the Irish, when they came to America, we have a lot in common. We both like to party. Let's put that out there. But also having that Roman Catholic connection, right? The Irish also do believe in like folklore and have like a lot of history with like witchcraft.
Really?
Yeah, but it's more like of shamans and, you know, things that are very nature-wise, paganism, things like that. So I thought it was really interesting to find out that, like, a Mexican found this grimoire, right, that was Irish, and it was from observing tadpoles, so baby frogs, and how if they lose a tail, it'll grow back.
Get out.
Really?
I didn't even know that. I mean... Okay.
You just have to accept it.
I'm going to accept it.
You can Google it.
I'm going to accept it as truth.
And so, of course, they're like, oh, what can we put on things when it aches? Well, eucalyptus plants, oils, right? Peppermint, things like that kind of soothe pains and aches. Well, what do us Mexicans love? Vaporu.
Oh, yeah.
It heals all.
That's right. For all of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, it starts with Vicks and Emsen Vapor Rub and stuff. You put it on everything.
On everything, and it cures everything.
How many of you guys out there have actually had to put that on everything? Everything, right?
And so I just think it's so crazy that it all ties together, like, so nicely.
I love that. I love that. I love that there's things for healing. There's things for other things too. I always refer to the truth is it's never happened to me. I don't feel that I've ever been hexed or had a spell put on me or things like that. But I've seen a lot of things out there, read a few things, and a few movies actually stick with me. And maybe you can kind of shed some light. One of them being the Skeleton Key. Have you guys ever seen the Skeleton Key?
I have.
Yeah, that was creepy with hoodoo. Not voodoo, but hoodoo. And the fact that they had to believe for it to work. Things like that. And I've met a few people who were telling me that it is about belief. It's about belief in whatever's being placed on you, or a belief of what was placed on you so that you can cure yourself.
Right. And those are both closed practices. Be very respectful and mindful when speaking about them.
Yes, absolutely. So as we go forward, tell me what you think. Tell me about some other spells or hexes or things that you kind of uncovered.
Well, in Mexican practices, right, you go see the curandera or el curandero when you feel ill or you feel sick and you don't understand why it's not going away, and you've tried teas and medicines and all kinds of home remedies. And these people will tend to pray over you. And common things that they do is the huevo limpia.
Yes.
Yes. So, and that can be done with bushes. Like, you have to pull out the whole bush, and these are like common rue, rosemary, mugwort, white sage, basil.
Did you say mugwort?
Mugwort.
Dude, that sounds totally Harry Potter.
It works. That's probably why they used it in the book. And what they do is they grab an egg. That's what a huevo is, right? And you want to put the person's aura, essence, whatever you want to call it. So you rub it all over the patient. The person has come to seek you for help. And then you grab a cup of water and you crack the egg into it. And then you're reading the egg, depending on what it looks like. In a healthy person, the egg is normal. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you see white streaks or any type of imperfections or impurities that just don't seem right, then you could be hexed or cursed.
Wow. My mom, who's from Aguililla, Michoacan, used to tell me a story of a gentleman who lived in her town, and he was a curandero. And my tia, who kind of had visions and things like that, some things had happened, and somebody, I think I don't think if the correct word is possession, but something had happened. And the guy came and he had an egg and he kind of moved it around and all those things. And con las ramas, the branches of those plants, he brushed them, doing his chants, whatever. And my mom says she used to help him read the book because my mom was literate and could read.
Right.
So she's reading all these things about tales or spells or whatever they were doing to cure this person. Then they would take those branches and they burn them. And she said when that guy, the curandero, would crack open the egg would actually lay in the ash in the shape of whatever was possessing the person.
Just like I told you in episode 1, energy.
Energy's infinite. Man, you've said that,
Energy.
And I say it all the time now.
Literally transferring that negative energy into an egg, which is the start of life, and getting it out of someone. Like, I'm glad it worked. In my experience, when I've seen a curandera, it's always prayers.
Yeah.
My parents, being Roman Catholics, have always loved going to see someone that does pray for you, essentially. But you have to believe.
You have to. That's what they say.
That makes the difference. Otherwise, it's just like anything in this world. If you don't believe in it, it doesn't work.
That's the secret sauce. That's what I hear all the time. That is the secret sauce. Without the belief, you can manifest things just from your mind and believing in something. I truly believe that it's the same thing. It's the same thing with curing whatever's on you, whatever was placed on you. Have you ever seen anything like Lori and I do a lot of traveling, and when we were in New Orleans, you know, and I kind of dipped into a few places and asked a few questions about voodoo. Why, you ask? Just because straight curiosity, right? But have you ever experienced anything like that with like a doll, putting something in something, caging it? I don't know, those kind of things.
That's very interesting that you say that, because when I traveled to Louisiana, it felt like home. It felt like home. Why? Because a lot of them do practice Roman Catholic practices, and they also practice like voodoo and hoodoo. Again, closed practices. But it was very interesting to see how the cultures have integrated, right?
For sure.
It's a part of thing.
For sure.
And you'll see little voodoo dolls being sold and things like to tourists.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I bought one.
And and again, what you do with it is up to you. But everything is intent. Like, what is it that you want this to have its purpose?
I remember someone very close to me. We'll call her Seva, who told me about not putting me in the freezer. What does that mean?
Okay. So a type of hex that you can do is, because the intent is a little more malicious depending on the perception or perspective of the person, right? But it's essentially taking justice into your own hands. So it's like a personal timeout. When someone does something that was just awful and you want that instant justice.
Wow.
You help the universe.
Bam.
By taking a piece of paper, writing the person's full name, and if you know their birthday, even better, folding it against you 3 times. See, magic number 3. And then putting it into the freezer.
Wow. And that just kind of what does that do to them?
Puts them in a personal timeout.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I don't think that that's the greatest one. I think the greatest one is taking a double mirrored compact. Because as you guys know, and I've told you, mirrors are like little portals.
Yep, you say that often.
So a double-sided compact with mirrors, right? You do the same thing with the person's name. Fold it 3 times away from you. Put it into the compact. And the intent is for them to see and experience how they're being towards you.
No.
Yes. So it's giving them a taste of their own medicine.
I like that. I've been done dirty a couple of times, and had I known the rituals and things, because I do have a slight belief, I think that there's a possibility I may have attempted something. I think.
I warn everybody that you do this with caution.
Yes.
Because you have to be willing to pay the price. Everything is an exchange of energy.
Ooh.
So I don't know what the price is, to be honest. But when I feel that someone has gone above and beyond and I need that justice card, I'm willing to pay the price.
I feel like so much of this is universal. Because, and I hate that I'm going to say this again. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of TV. I do a lot of stuff like that. But in storylines, when you talk about people, it's basically storylines are just the creativity and the experience of people putting it in writing and then sharing their experiences, through that media.
Right.
And when you go to things like paying the price, the first thing that popped in my head, do you remember Game of Thrones? When Jason Momoa was all whatever, and he got like cut or whatever, and Emma Clarke was like, hey, went to that bruja, but she had been done dirty, so she kind of did them dirty, and then he was a vegetable and her baby was a drag. I don't know.
Right.
You guys know what I'm talking about out there. Everything seems to have that same type of connection. And if it happens everywhere, and happens everywhere similarly, I feel like it's real. The perfect example, and I know we're going off topic now, but is like alien encounters. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because before TV and media and things like that, people have been drawing, coming across, and the images have been very similar across the globe. How does that happen? How does that happen unless they're having an experience that is real and tangible, and you could see it, you could feel it, you could draw it, whatever. I feel the same thing here, even with the different cultures, you're talking about different countries, you're talking about different cultures, different religions, but it's all similar. And it trips me out. It trips me out because it makes me, I already believed before, but it makes me believe even more.
Right. And I mean, to each their own. Like, as long as you believe in whatever your intent is, I mean, we shouldn't want harm to others, but these things exist. So I feel like if I can get everybody to be aware of it and, you know, bring in awareness, that's awesome. That's the best thing I could do. So which brings me to my next point. How can you check to see if you have been hexed or if someone's wishing bad things upon you? Because unfortunately, no one's perfect and you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You can check by grabbing a bowl full of water, 2 matches. You ignite them at the same time and you ask the question, has anyone hexed me? You drop them into the water and you wait for the bowl of water to come to a stillness. If the 2 matches cross in any way, shape, or form or touch, then you have been hexed. But if they stay apart, then you're in the clear.
Oh, get out. I'm going to grab a bowl of water right now.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's an easy, simple way to do it.
I think that's incredibly awesome because I think that I really truly feel that not only is this entertainment and is it an exploration of myself kind of going out there and seeing what's out there, but I love that we're bringing a little bit of something to everyone who listens, because I know for a fact that there are 4 or 5 of you out there that are grabbing a bowl of water right now.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, who wouldn't? That's free advice, and the exchange is none. You're just it would be like taking a quick test to see what your blood pressure is. It's the same equivalent. So, a awesome story that I would like to share with all of you is the fact that when I was studying to be a certified nurse assistant back when I was only 18 years old, I had a great friend that I made, and so we took turns driving each other to school because it was about a 45-minute drive. Mm-hmm. And she encountered her boyfriend at the time spending time with other girls that she was not familiar with.
No bueno.
So that just has a negative connotation. As you can imagine, she was instantly possessed by the jealous demon, where I was trying to be the voice of reason and reminding her that she's driving and that she has me and our other friend in the car to slow down. She continues to pursue him. We end up getting in a car accident. Oh. We hit a wall. And this wall is to guard the homes because this is a residential area.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine how fast we were going. Thank goodness, nothing happened to any of us. No one was injured other than being really freaked out. But I wish I could describe how her face looked. She didn't even look like herself anymore. It was the wildest thing that I've ever encountered. And so, luckily, her mom, who was also curandera,
shut up,
called me to also make sure that I was okay, to come over, and that she was gonna give me a limpia if I accepted. So of course, totally into this. I'm
sure.
like, yes, please. Like, I'm a little spooked out. This would calm my nerves and make me feel better. So we start with a tea, like a calming tea.
Okay.
Good old chamomile. She goes into a prayer, which is an Our Father in the Catholic belief. And I'm praying with her because I really want to feel better. And she does the limpia de huevo. She cracks it open.
Yeah.
And mine's perfectly fine.
Oh.
Looks edible. Like,
delish.
Good for breakfast. But then she does her daughter next. And she even asked me, like, which type of, like, herb bush would I prefer? Because they do kind of tap you with it to kind of get your aura to be cleansed. That's why they do it. I chose rosemary. It's my go-to herb. She chose mugwort. And I'm glad she did, because she was not okay. Her nerves were all over the place.
Oh,
again, with the jealousy demon. And her mom's praying, and now we're doing like a full rosary, which, if any of you guys know, takes about 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow.
Depending on how fast you say it. So I'm helping. I'm aiding in this. I'm throwing in the rosemary. I'm helping mom out. We're doing a great job. Everything starts to feel less negative and intense and heavy. Remember how I talked about that in episode 2? The heaviness
Yes.
of external presence.
Right.
We crack open the egg. It looked as if it was boiled.
Get out.
It looked so distorted and had the weirdest red dots in it.
No way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And of course, that's not a good thing.
No.
So we have to continue doing this until we get an egg that looked like mine.
And how many did it take?
It took 4.
Shut up. You know, you said something in your story that trips me out. You said the jealousy demon.
Jealousy demon.
Because I have seen people who you would think they're just having some type of an intense emotion, but it's not them anymore.
No.
It's almost like something evil, something demon-like, something almost kind of possesses them for a short period of time. Like you let it in by having certain emotions and it overtakes you and you can't control it. Some people call that enraged. Some people
Right.
call that incredibly jealous. Whatever it is, I don't know. I don't want to experience it because I think I have in the past. And it again confused me, you know. It was anger times 1,000. And I'm not like that anymore, thank goodness. But yeah, that just resonated. You said it, and I was like, "Get out!" That's
Going back to shows, right?
sure.
Like there was a show about vampires, and sorry, I don't remember the name, but
It wasn't Twilight.
it wasn't Twilight. It was not. But when they would like transform into vampires, they would like talk about their humanity. And it was really hard for them to turn on their humanity. I feel like this is the same thing. It's like they're not even human anymore.
Yeah.
They go into this primal state that is very scary. And I do feel like something has taken over their body. Like they're just not them.
Wow. I myself truly believe that type of temporary possession, let's call it that, you know, that it occurs. My brother Tony is a pastor and things like that and has actually worked with exorcisms. And he's actually experienced those things. And I reached out to him when I was thinking about some of the things that we'd be talking about. And he said that he'd be more than happy to be interviewed, to explain what has happened and what's been going on. So that's coming up soon, guys. I might drive down there to do the interviews in person because I've heard some of those stories and they're unbelievably intense. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. I'm making that happen because this isn't just as big. I have little chill bumps.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And some of these, so I do want to clarify that like hexes can be short. There are some that are very long. And they are pretty similar to curses. Curses can even be generational.
Can they?
They can. And curses are even harder to do because you pretty much need the person who gave that curse to remove it.
It's amazing you bring that up because earlier I was telling you about that email that we got.
Right.
And that gentleman who reached out to tell us a story is about that very thing. It's about a generational curse placed on his family and what he went through to try to get this. And we're talking about starting back from his great-great-great-grandfather back in the day, you know, and here in California, down near Fresno. So there's a lot to it. And I'm going to go interview him, and I'm sure that we will have quite a story, quite a discussion, you know? I mean, there's so much, and it happens quite a bit. I have some interesting things with my family. By the way, my tia invited us over to go talk to her, and she's the one who actually sees spirits,
Yeah.
dead people. I don't know, however you guys want to say it. You know, they come to her and they give her information. And she also was one of the ones who assisted with the curandero that was in Mexico, you know, my mom, my tia. So that's coming too.
Curandero or curandera, they're healers
Yes.
of
Yes.
Latino descent. And
Yes.
they have a special way of healing people.
I think that's great.
And each of them have different religions or they practice other things. But, you know, I think it's really brave of people to seek them out and give them the opportunity to help them with something, like as a curse or a hex.
I wonder if they recognize the don.
They do have a don.
No, but I mean, if the people who seeking them out, they recognize it.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you can't be helped and you see someone who you think could possibly help you, I don't know if that's desperation or is that finally opening up that eye in your mind to finally look for a different solution. But you can see that and you're going to want that and you're going to want that help. But it's brave. It's brave to know and say that I don't know. I need help. Crazy. Curses and hexes are crazy, guys. I'm telling you, it's some of those things that I think about every once in a while. You know, you're driving along, something happens, you get a flat tire, you're like, man, you know, that guy I just cut off in the freeway, did his happen for a reason?
Yeah, road rage. I mean, so many people turn into different people when they're driving. Got to be careful out there, be aware, and then just be mindful of wishing someone bad intent. Because essentially, you can hex someone just by having negative thoughts towards someone.
You hit it on the head when you said that everything has a price. Mm-hmm. So by wishing that on someone else, you got to think about what that price is. And if you don't know, just like I tell kids, you know, if you don't know, maybe you shouldn't be messing with it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyways, guys, let me tell you, I'm excited about the future of what's coming up. I'm excited that you guys are all listening. I want to thank everybody because we have surpassed 350 downloads and we only have 2 episodes.
Hooray!
I think that's pretty awesome. People have asked me some questions about swag.
Everybody wants merchandise.
Everybody wants merch, man. Let me tell you. Well, that might be coming out one of these days, but as of right now, I might just make a t-shirt for myself.
Hey, we got to start somewhere.
It's rolling up, getting close to that 30-minute mark, but I want to tell you guys, I want to invite you all once again. There's a couple things that are coming down the pipeline. You know, I'm going to go and have an interview with this gentleman. I know that we are actively planning a spirit board session.
Yes, we are. Which I am pretty convinced that it would be exciting to film it, to have an actual video.
Oh.
I am getting requests.
Oh.
That people would like to see it.
My wife tends to tell me that I have a face for radio, but I will gladly be placed on a video. You know,
I feel the same way, but we can.
You feel I have a face for radio?
No, for myself.
That hurts me a little bit, but it's okay.
Little camera shy. We could totally be in costume.
Oh man, let me tell you, I have a Care Bear costume.
Like Day of the Dead.
I like it. I like it.
We could be skeletons.
I feel like that's coming up, and I think that when we record and do that, it's going to be huge. So that's an invitation to everybody out there. And I also want to let you guys know that with that, we're going to be doing a couple of things coming up here pretty soon. I'm going to go on the road. I bought some equipment. I'm going to go on the road. We're going to talk to some people who aren't just sitting around my table here, and we're going to go ahead and actually get some stories from the road. So if you out there, here it is. If you out there who are listening have experienced something strange, have experienced something unknown or known, something that's going on, a hex, a curse, something supernatural, creepy crawlies, whatever, I encourage you not only to email us, hey, record your story. Everyone loves listening to us. Record your story and send it to us. I would love to reach out and talk to you and make sure it's okay to put it on our podcast because I'm more than you know, people are going to want to know.
Yeah, we're going through this investigation, this journey together.
It's going to be amazing.
If you have anything that talks about spells, hexes, or curses, please let us know. It's not too late. We can always talk about it in our next episode.
Oh, for sure. So if you decide to use the email, that's ESPOOKYStalk, ESPOOKYSTALK @gmail.com. But you can also reach out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on anywhere that you download your podcast and just shoot us a little something. There's a link in there for you to send us direct messages. We would love to honestly hear from you because those who have already reached out, it's pretty intense and pretty awesome. And I think that's the direction we'll go. Cool?
Sounds great.
Awesome.
I think the people really like to be involved.
Well, Once again, guys, rolling on 30 minutes, so we're going to head out. But again, I just want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe and all those good things. And for all of you out there, be sure tonight, make sure to check under your bed.
Lock your closet doors and mirrors.
It's a spookies time.